afternoon, good evening. I hope you all are well. It's a beautiful day, absolutely gorgeous. I feel like there's new energy abound. The sun is out, the snow is somewhat melted, and the birds are chirping. So welcome. So nice to be here this morning. I've been thinking a lot about energy lately, and in particularly when the sun's out and spring and new beginnings and change. And so today during our practice, we'll work on a little bit of energy because we're going to have some rainy days, and we're going to just kind of trudge through them and hopefully get that energy going, and using some techniques and some flows that can kind of shift you from the down to a little bit more of that energy harness, pulling that energy that we know is within, but sometimes it's a little harder to pull out. So we'll do some breath work, and I also think about sometimes essential oils getting that energy. So maybe more on that at a later video. But anyways, let's find our breath and let's do an 8-count breath. And when we think about the ebb and the flow of our yoga practice and of life, you know, it's kind of one of those things that, like our breath, we empty out all of the air and we inhale. So that exhalation is taking out all of the toxins, all of the dirty air, so to say. And the inhalation takes in the pureness, the energy, to help us flow into our next most important thing to do. So we'll do an 8 count, and make sure you're seated, you're comfortable, legs could be bent, they could be straight in front of you. We're gonna sit here and work through an 8-count breath for a couple minutes, and I'll count. And if you find yourself wandering away, no worries, just come back to those 8 counts. So let's start with a big inhalation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exhalation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhalation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exhalation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhalation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exhalation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll do this 2 more times. Inhalation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now try it on your own, this last rotation. And we'll come back to center. And don't worry if you lost count or you're like, I can't do, that was too much of an inhalation or exhalation. Again, be right where you are. That's fine. We'll work up to it. And maybe during the course of the rest of the month, we'll work on some of these breath movements to kind of get that energy going for spring. So let's come together and ground, maybe changing our legs. Taking our palms together to heart center. Just bringing our breath back to what we would consider our normal breath. And let's take our arms up overhead, bringing our elbows down into Goddess, bringing them up and down, working those shoulders, not bringing the shoulders up by the ears, leaving them down, but just up and down. Goddess, extension, Goddess. With your breath, no holding of the breath. We need that vital life force. Up and down, 2 more times. And then bringing our hands back to Goddess, and let's take that down. So we're taking our palms from the front of the room to the back of the room. And let's just hold that for a couple counts here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's shake those out. And then take our arms in close to our trunk, elbows, 90-degree hands, and let's fold those palms up, palms down. With your breath. And then bringing those palms in and taking them out. And each time you bring them in, it's almost like you're pivoting. You're using your trunk or your torso as a pivot, bringing those hands in. Maybe you can put the right palm on top and then the left. And really extend, not have a straight back, sits bones, so you're stacked and elongated. Two more times. Really opening up the front, your sternum, feel that. Okay, taking our legs and extending them. Arms up overhead, right arm down, left arm over, nice twist to the side. I should say bend. We'll twist too, but we're going to bend right now. Breathing, maybe taking your gaze up towards the sky. Pushing, having a little bit of strength in that right arm, pushing into the left. Bringing that energy in. And then to the left side. Again, bringing that energy in. Legs should be, excuse me, somewhat engaged. Pushing into that left arm, taking your gaze up towards the right. Breathing into that side and coming up. Taking our hands behind our hips, pressing our shoulder blades, our scapulas together, and the back. Taking that chest and putting a little bit of weight on the wrists, on the hands, taking that gaze towards the sky, but not hyperextending that neck, just taking it towards the sky. I'm looking at the corners of the room where the walls meet the ceiling, just extending that back. And that's kind of like a cat. And then we'll move forward into a cow. And folding forward through the spine, So I'm going to turn so you guys can see me. Through the spine, my cat, making an arch back, putting my hands behind me, taking that gaze up again towards the corner of the room. I'm not hyperextending. I'm not trying to look at the sun this morning, but finding a little bit of arch, opening up that chest, and then cat. Arching, maybe even putting a little bit of weight in those hands, pushing your clavicle towards the front of your thighs, pushing, finding a nice stretch in that back, and then opening up. We'll do this 2 more times, and you can do it on your own. Just notice the energy and the sensations and the little muscles that are saying, ooh, this is good stuff. Good stuff. Waking up that back for our practice today. And coming back to neutral. So another alternative to cat and cow. Sometimes we do them on our knees. Sometimes we do them in the seated position, and that was just with our legs a little bit straight. So let's do a torso twist, taking our arms up, stretching, taking it to the right, feeling a nice elongation in your spine. Taking that gaze to the right. With each inhalation, maybe finding a little bit more height in your spine. Taking the arms up overhead to the left. Breathing. For our practice today, if you'd like to use some blocks, if you have blocks handy, or a strap, a bathrobe strap or a rope or a belt works just fine. So if you have blocks, not mandatory, but I'm going to put my blocks about 2 feet in front of me, and I'm going to fold towards the front, over my knees, taking my gaze to the floor, holding that and breathing into it, opening up my shoulders and my back, where some of my energy sometimes is blocked. Feeling a nice stretch towards my torso, through the back, and resting into this. I feel this in my hips, the top of my sacrum, nice stretch. Slowly coming up. Taking my legs out into a reverse table. Do this a couple times. Taking our gaze up, pushing through those shoulders. Really elongating, pushing through my heels. Coming back down. Maybe crossing my legs the other way if we remember which we had them. Coming up tall. Shooting our arms up overhead. Forward fold. Fold into that forward fold, feel that energy. Slowly take those hands back. Hands behind you. Push up into a reverse table. Coming down, fold your legs the other way, shoot your arms up overhead, and forward fold. Breathe into it, exhale. Inhale, come out of it. Exhale, move to the back. Inhale, push up. Exhale. With your inhale, come down. Arms overhead. Exhale to blocks. And if you don't have blocks, you can do it on the carpet or on the mat too. Bringing arms up, overhead, to prayer, and to heart center. So some of you may have recognized that as very similar to forward folds. So one way to get energy flowing and not have to be standing in a standing position. These are things you can even do at your desk to get some energy and breath work worked into your day. So we'll put our blocks out to the side. We'll come up to all fours. onto our knees. If you need a blanket under your knees, feel free. I'm on the carpet, so I've got lots of cushion. And since we already did our cat and cow, let's just do some rotations. And so we're doing lateral circles. I'm going counterclockwise and clockwise. And we'll come to neutral. Coming up on our knees, again, if you need a blanket or something under your knees, you can always take your mat and fold it under as well if you need a little bit more cushion on your knees. Rotating those wrists, just opening them up a little bit, rotating them, and putting them back down. We're going to do a little balance today. Some balance. And very slowly and methodically taking the right leg, left arm out. And this is fine to stay here. If you'd like to bring your elbow and knee together, extending, bringing it down, taking the opposite, the right arm, left leg. We've done this a lot before. For those of you that are new though, working through some balancing movement. So not only are we building strength, but we're balancing. Knee to elbow, extend, down. Taking the arm and the leg up, together, extend, down. For those of you that are holding your breath, make sure you're breathing through this, providing that vital energy to your body. 2 more times. Again, we're not doing it fast. We're doing it slowly and with balance. Counterlateral with balance. Nice. Okay, very nice. Coming down into child's pose, toes together, knees apart, spreading into that child's pose, finding your breath. Maybe we'll do a couple 4 counts. Inhalation, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhalation, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhalation, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhalation, and do a couple on your own. We'll push up, tucking our toes, pushing up into our first downward dog of the day, walking those legs out, pushing through. So finding our downward dog. Taking the right leg up, pushing through that, really stretching and extending, holding it, taking it out to the side. If it's in your practice, taking that left arm to the right leg. Nice. Coming back to the downward dog, taking that left leg up, really extending, taking it out to the side, taking the right arm to that left leg, and just holding it for a moment while I fix myself here. Stepping that left leg back in, finding that downward dog, down to knees, toes together, child's pose. Coming back up, pressing into plank. You can also be on your knees, pressing into plank, doing some stretch, some strength. Holding it, coming to knees, coming up on your knees, and we'll do airplane arms. So coming up, extending your arms out wide, taking that right leg out, dropping the right arm to the right leg. Nice side stretch. Dropping the left arm to the floor, extending that right arm out. Right leg's extended. You can lift that right leg up if that's in your practice, or it could be rested on the floor, yet engaged. Bringing that back up, bringing that knee in, back to airplane. The same on the left side. Take your left leg out. Drop the left arm. Make sure you're not holding your breath. Dropping the right arm. And taking that left leg and left arm out to the side. This is great as well. Make sure you're breathing, bringing in that knee, and we'll do some of our camels. If you have a block, put the block on the inside of your right foot. Taking that right hand, setting it on the block. Taking the left arm up overhead. If it's in your practice to do both hands on blocks, you can certainly do that. And come out of it. Move it over to the left side. Move that block over to the left side. Take that left hand on the block. Right arm up overhead. Gentle back bend. For those of you that would like to try both, you certainly can try both hands, both arms. You can also move down to your heels for a full camel. Come out of it slowly. Remove your blocks. Go into a child's pose to release that lower lumbar. Taking in a couple 4-count breaths on your own. And when you've done that, we'll meet in tabletop. We'll push up into downward dog, taking your knees off the mat, starting with a puppy dog, pushing back, elongating. Noticing the difference, the energy from the first one to this one. And then we will walk our feet forward, hands forward. If you'd like to use your blocks, use your blocks for a forward fold. Forward fold. Maybe rocking a little bit left to right. Knees bent. Elbows on knees. Forward fold. Exhale. Bend those knees. Coming up. Hands overhead. Hands to prayer and to heart center. Just noticing our mountain pose, stacking our feet, elongating our spine, and just noticing the difference in your body. Enjoying the fruits of your practice. Notice the neck and the shoulders stacked nicely on your spinal column. Notice your hips and how they nicely fit together with your legs. Maybe do a little shake, left to right. Our toes. Rocking back and forth. A little balance. Okay, taking our arms up overhead. Forward fold with the exhalation. Taking our right leg behind our left leg, folding into a forward fold. You could use your blocks at any level that you'd like. Feel that nice stretch through your hips, through, even feel it through my gluteus. Nice stretch. Bring that leg back, bend those legs. Let's go up into an invisible seat. Strong legs. Coming up, hands overhead into heart center. No holding of the breath. We're going to do the same, taking our left leg behind our right leg. So up overhead, forward fold, exhale to our blocks. taking our left leg behind our right leg, folding into that. Breathing into that opening where you feel the sensation. Again, blocks can be here as well. Don't want too much strain. It should be no pinching or binding. Take that left leg back. Move our blocks, forward fold. Let's bend those legs coming into a seated. Very nice. Good job, you guys. Very good job. Hands to prayer, overhead, forward fold. This time we'll just notice our forward fold, what feels elongated, our feet being supported by the earth. Breathing into it. Maybe taking our elbows, doing some ragdoll, and bending, maybe just a little swinging. Just seeing how that feels on our back. Hands back to block, halfway up. Forward fold, bending those legs, coming up, arms overhead. Hands to prayer and heart center. I'll face the camera. Do some balancing. Maybe we'll use our blocks too. Do some balancing. Lifting up our right arm, actually I have my left arm and my right leg up. So lifting and lowering. And let's hold that up. Holding up that left arm, right leg, taking that right leg and shooting it behind you and seeing if you can bend forward to your blocks. Left hand on your block, right leg behind you. Very good. You can even use both of your blocks if you'd like. Extend that leg down. Blocks can be in any position. Make sure you're looking at the floor, that focal point. And if you came out of it, you can always try it again. So I don't want you looking at the camera while you're doing this. That will strain your neck. So let's lift and lower that left arm, right leg. When you found your balance, and maybe there's a focal point, begin to shift your weight slowly. Slowly, slowly. Coming down. Again, it can be one arm or it can be both. Wherever you are today, looking at the floor, looking at your left toes. Very nice. Bringing that right leg down, bending the legs, and coming up. So I might be doing something that looks a little different, but we're all different, and we all are right where we're supposed to be. So now you know what we did with the right leg. We're going to do the same with the left leg, and the right arm. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. And when you feel as though you have that balance, hold that right leg and left arm and right leg up, and then begin to take that left leg, right arm down and through, shifting your weight to your blocks or to the floor. If you don't have blocks, you can do it on the floor. If you have blocks, you could even move a chair and put a chair in front of you for modification if you need some kind of support. Look at the floor. Do not look at the video camera or the video screen. And let's come out, bending those legs, coming up, reaching high. We'll do this one more time because you know what's anticipated. Lifting and lowering, the right arm, left leg. Bringing that leg down. Making forward fold, bending, coming up. Hands to prayer. Ah, nice. Move your blocks out of the way. We'll move to the floor. Let's just lay on our backs and notice the support of the earth and the ground supporting us. Laying with your arms wide at your side, legs splayed open. Taking a scan. Taking the arms up overhead for a nice stretch. Bringing the arms down to your side. Bringing the legs up. Feet mat distance. Let's do a little rocking. Arms could be at a T, or they can be alternating overhead. Dropping those knees left to right. Opposite arms up overhead. Nice. Nice stretch. Bring that to a halt. Hug those knees in. Massage that back, those kidneys, lower lumbar. See how far up on your thoracic spine you can massage those shoulders. Using the weight of the world on your back. Extending those legs. Get ready for Shavasana. As we go into Shavasana today, as with the ebb and flow of life, sink into that yogic sleep, that corpse pose, but don't fall asleep. Do a scan of your body, where it feels like it has more energy. With the next inhalation, begin to add a little movement to your fingers and toes. As if waking up for the first time in the day. Taking a stretch, arms overhead, coming to one side, taking a couple cleansing breaths, and slowly move up to seated. My hope is that you found in this practice some energy and some flow that served your energy source. Don't forget your breath. Namaste. I'd like to thank the Maslin Museum for this opportunity. And if you've been following along on these yoga videos, please consider making a donation to the Maslin Museum. Hope to see you next month in person. Have a great day.